Hello everybody, it's your boy Ian here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, for once, I kind of want to talk about Wall Crasher. Well, not exploits here this time, but just about Wall Crasher and what Wall Crasher is currently. A joke. And let's be real, if you think Wall Crasher is a boss, this is going to be insanely cooked, because as far as a boss goes, even a bunny can annihilate Wall Crasher in very easily under 30 seconds. In this gameplay, I was using an Ancestor mod with only crit damage on there, and you can see even with this, I'm still crapping all over Wall Crasher. If I was to run a better Ancestor mod, such as one with, let's say for example, something like Fusion Skill Power Boost Ratio and crit damage on there, I could probably have knocked almost 10 entire seconds off this run. And not to say Bunny is the only Descendant that can do this, because she's not. There is still a lot of other contenders that, well, truth be told, absolutely annihilate. So here's a little bit of Freyna gameplay. I was running the wrong setup on Freyna in this as an example, but you will see just in general that Freyna can absolutely nuke the daylights out of Wall Crasher as well. Just as a quick example, one of my homies, Al, actually got a good run, so I'll just show the screenshot at the end of this, but you can see what Freyna is capable of doing. If I used a Nyzestra's Devotion with a little bit of rounds per mag, I would have gotten the last 5-6 shots off. That would have been enough to kill Wall Crasher in that scenario there. When that does happen though, all you gotta do is just take a hit, go down, and then get yourself back up, activate your Venom Injection, get another crit buff, and roll back in. Pretty simple. Freyna gameplay is, you know, very easy, and Freyna is the GOAT. Even in this instance, I wasn't even bothering with getting my crits because you just had so little health. So Freyna is another certified GOAT for Wall Crasher as well. Now, not to say that it's just these two, because, you know, there is more than just these two, of course. But you can see that a 40-second Wall Crasher with Freyna doing just shy of 3 billion. Or if you are cracked and you have actual good aim like my homie Al does, you'll be able to get your Freyna doing a 24-second Wall Crasher with 3.5 billion damage as well. So there is a lot more that you are able to do. Hell, even yesterday, I literally posted a video about Serena annihilating the Wall Crasher too. So Serena is also very much capable of, well, you know, destroying the Wall Crasher as well. At this point, every Descendant can kind of, well, shred Wall Crasher, right? So what is this boss even meant to be? He's meant to be some form of a raid boss, is what they called him. And honestly, I think he's just a big sorry bullet sponge that doesn't really provide very much outside of the occasional free drops. And it's sad because, well, Wall Crasher was literally the main attraction of Season 3. Well, one of the main attractions of Season 3. He was meant to be the big, bad raid boss that is going to take team synergy, effort, and all of this hard, concrete stuff to kind of just get about him. And he's met a very sad fate. Let's be real with that. With this boss now, he's become nothing more than a big block of punching bag. If we look at team synergies in here, an Enzo and Serena and an Enzo is even capable of annihilating them as a duo, or Serena, Enzo, and a Sharon if you want to go trio. Bunny Ajax is capable of duoing him in under a minute as well. Bunny, Ajax, Sharon as a trio. Add a Luna into that mix, and if you find yourself a Valby, a Nell, or a Harris in pubs, your run's gonna go even faster. Freyna and Luna is enough as a duo to annihilate him as well. If you add Nell into that mix, more skill power. Glay and Enzo annihilate the weak points. Luna and Luna, a concert Luna buffing, a buffing Luna, buffing a concert Luna, still does a pretty crazy amount of damage. Essimo and Luna, Ajax and Enzo with a perforator, or Kyle and Luna for a one-shot. There's plenty of synergies for this boss that will absolutely annihilate him. And for some reason, they thought Ancestor mods would be a good idea to make this synergy even more stronger, right? So what can you actually do to Wall Crasher at this point to, well, you know, buff him? He's weak as shit, let's be real. So I think, what we could do is, well, let's be real, buff Wall Crasher. Actually buff him. Revert the skill nerf and revert the firearm or multi-hit nerf on him. Wall Crasher's health was also nerfed, so buff his health too, because that's something that also needs to happen. As far as it goes, I would also say add more mechanics in and make him faster. For sure. Because, well, currently, if you go up to this guy currently, all it is a big boss that you're like, oh no, look at this big sack of piss and wind. And, you know, you just go up to it, start throwing your attacks, and even in an actual Wallcrasher fight, he's too slow for him to actually, well, you know, pose any form of a threat. And that's kind of the truth with this boss anyways. I am just using an Ancestor mod now, like I said, with crit damage and fusion, but if I was to slap something like this on, the rate would be ballistic and stuff like that. But basically, this boss is a sorry excuse of what a boss should absolutely be, in my opinion. Given that TFD has shown that they full well know how to make bossing Descendants, well, I'm surprised that they just don't bother with this, because, well, the boss in itself has, or the bossing history of this game has been very, very good. If you look at the other Colossuses, or Colossi, I think that's the right word, that have come and gone, even just looking at the world map, sorry, wrong one. World map, even looking at these Colossi since release, not very many of them have come out, but even Molten Fortress, that was on release, Gluttony and Deathstalker at release were absolute menaces, and Wallcrasher's just never had that, which is sad because he's the only boss that you can fight with 8 players. If anything, we should be able to just get our asses handed to us, and that has just sadly never happened with this boss. Hell, I'd even argue that Grim Reaper for most players is more of a challenge than Wallcrasher. I love Grim Reaper, and he's probably my favourite Abyss boss, just because I love his mechanics. I love how he's so reminiscent of Deathstalker. Original Deathstalker is still more of a problem than Grim Reaper. I'm gonna back that, but just in general, I think so many people find more challenge inside of the Abyss boss rather than the raid boss, which is kind of cooked. I think that Wallcrasher should definitely go some form of a buff. I remember the exploit, and just in general, reading through the records and based off what the developers have said themselves, especially about Colossus, there was record information about Wallcrasher basically being Wallcrasher because of the fact that he broke the dimensional wall, right? But it's also worth considering the possibility that there are even bigger Colossi than the Wallcrasher. So, put simply, they will most likely, according to the lore at least, add something bigger about Wallcrasher, or add something bigger than Wallcrasher. Who knows, we might get Planet Muncher or Ocean Liquor next. So, you know, if we're going to get a bigger Colossi, amp up the difficulty of the fight for sure. Make it feel like a genuine synergy. If you're going to go in with a 4-man squad, make it so that 2 4-man squads can get like a 1-minute clear. And make it so that a average pub lobby has to fight this thing for 2 to 5 minutes. Because honestly, you need it. There's nothing in this game currently. Hell, even Forbidden Sanctuary is doable in under 3 minutes solo. So like, you know what I mean? The fact that this was like the biggest and, well, most hoped for intrigue, most like important thing of this 3rd season, and just to see him turn into a big sack of shit is kind of sad to see. We will probably also get buffs and drops, but I just think that at this point you need to like completely revise the fight. I don't think they will, or they might focus more on the next Colossi, but even at this point we've heard nothing about it, so who knows, we might be sitting here looking into the Abyss for a while. But honestly, buff Wallcrasher, because bro needs it at this point. Honestly, he does. But yeah, that's my opinions at least on Wallcrasher, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please just smash that like button. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. And honestly, what do you guys think? Do you think Wallcrasher needs something different? Do you think he's good? Do you think he's fine? Or do you think that I'm just chatting a lot of crap? Let me know in the comment section below. See you guys in the next one. Peace.